Yeah, it was a crazy day.
We did a lot today. What's up, man?
Good morning, sir.
Hey, good to see you again. How's everyone doing? Nice to meet you all. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you. Today, we are in Colorado Springs, and after this, we're going to Aurora to check out the suburb outside of Denver, Colorado. We're going to compare the two areas, and I think this is the first time this sucker's sitting in ice, so it'll be pretty cool to see how we take off. You have about 500,000 residents who live here, 478,000 to be exact. Poverty rate is 10.9%. Median income a little higher from what we saw in Redding. Redding was somewhere around 26-ish thousand per capita. Median income here, 33,890, so $33,890. Households just over about 65, somewhat similar to about your national average. So let's see what Colorado Springs has in store. Then we're going to Aurora. McKay, isn't that place more expensive? It's about the same. Yeah. All right, maybe it's a little bit. I have to say, first impression, I see a lot of newer construction, new developments, new subdivision. Looks like we're coming up on potentially a newer school here. I mean, so far everything looks 2000 plus. Now, I like 2000 to 2008 builds because they're just old enough to find crappy ones, but they're new enough to find fantastic structures. So I'm very excited about what I'm seeing here so far. And quite frankly, if I'm going to go into a winter wonderland, I'd rather want newer construction also because they're substantially, how do I say that? Better insulated, have substantially better insulation, and you get less drafts, less energy outlay. So big fan so far. This will be interesting. Hi. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for being a member. Really appreciate it.
Well,
He's the one who
famous
bought it.
YouTubers meet
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, how's it going? Pleasure to meet you all. Absolutely. Hey, pleasure to meet you.
I'm the father.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to
Jeff.
meet you.
That's awesome.
He's my business partner and the reason why I'm real estate.
Oh, that's so perfect.
your-
Thank you so
Those
much.
are the sheets for the MLS.
Thank you for that. I'll tell you, just coming from the airport, it looks like a lot of recent development and growth out here, huh? It's incredible. Yeah, some of the areas we go to, we don't see that. And I think we kind of want to be investing in places where there is growth.
Most people you'll find here come here somehow related to military. So they're either PCS'd here, or they have family that was here, or they moved here and then they were stationed somewhere else and then come back.
A lot of VA buyers then.
Yes,
Great.
lots of VA.
Okay,
Lots
okay,
of VA.
that's awesome. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, well, let's take a
walk
look. Let's see what we got. Thank you.
I already pulled keys. I was ready.
Oh, thank you for that. And so you work then in real estate as well?
I was in real estate for about 30 years. I'm retired now. I'm still around the world. So
Oh, good for you.
Getting prepared for that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. A lot of military out here. And how about rental-wise? A lot of longer-term rental common here? Rent out the whole house?
As long as you have a good price point,
Yeah.
single family rentals are highly desirable.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was in another market and they mentioned the only rentals they do are room rentals. And we like long-term rentals. Hey, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm traveling for real estate, it's to really become the best expert in all these various different markets for HouseHack.com. That's my real estate startup. We're currently raising money at a 1-to-1 valuation for accredited investors. And if you invest before the month's end, you get some extra bonus warrants, which are kind of like call options to invest more in the future if you want to. You don't have to. Learn more about that at the solicitation at HouseHack.com. But come April or May here in 2023, we should be opening up this investment round to non-accredited investors through a Reg A, which will be very awesome, and we hope you join us in. We'll be raising money at a 1-to-1 valuation, which means for every dollar we raise, that's the valuation of the company. So for example, if we raise $50 million, the company is worth $50 million. So you're really not suffering any kind of brand or company dilution. This is really rare when you're looking at a startup. So we're super excited to be able to offer a company and investments and shares into the company at that 1-to-1 valuation. Now, once that fundraise closes, if our cash flow projections go the way we're looking, we might not have to raise money again for quite a while, maybe not even until we IPO at some point in the future. And knock on wood, we're really excited about the prospects for the company. So we'd love to have you aboard on the journey. Just go to househack.com to learn more. Well, this is early 2000s. I may got the sheet over here.
Yep.
So let's see. This is number one.
2002.
So, $495. 2002. When would or what would you be able to rent something like this out for?
2,400.
24. Nice. Okay. And then backyards. What's pretty typical out here? About this size? They have 5,000-6,000 square feet or so.
For this area, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fairly typical. You can find, we have a lot of lot differentiations.
Okay.
So In a lot of the tract communities, you'll find yards similar to this.
Gotcha. Okay. And what do you find there are a lot of tenants who want larger, or is this about right?
No,
I prefer this size, maintenance wise. Yeah.
Yeah,
What about-
mostly they want a place for their dogs to go run. We have a lot of dogs.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So for
you
rentals,
definitely want a
you'll
pet
wanna allow
policy.
pets.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Is pet
absolutely.
rent normal out here?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. Pet deposit, non-refundable, and then a monthly pet rent.
Got it. Got it. So map wise,
Yes.
what could you tell me? So because Colorado Springs is pretty large.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's
500K.
195 square miles.
Oh my gosh.
So if you go in here, the area that we're looking at is going to be this, basically starts Constitution Avenue. We're between Powers and Mark Shuffle. Between Constitution and Dublin is what I call the sweet spot.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
this square over here, this rectangle, that's
just
great.
this rectangle.
That's fantastic.
Good
Okay.
neighborhood, good renters, lots of homeowners, lots of home renters, HOAs. This one is in an HOA that's an annual. It's like $160 a year.
Oh, wow. Okay,
But
yeah,
they're
that's
really
nothing.
on top of maintaining the community.
Maintenance. Yeah, exactly. Now, what was the law? You said Constitution.
Yes.
Okay, and then down here, is it just a little more expensive or less expensive?
No, that's where you start getting into a little bit. Colorado Springs from south to north
Yes.
goes in income.
Okay,
So
got
your
it,
higher
got it.
income is up north, lower income
And the
is down
hospital's
south.
up north. Gotcha. Okay,
We have a lot of new development up north and out east.
got it. And then what about going west? Downtownish?
West, downtown is starting to gentrify.
Okay, got it.
Ivywild is gentrifying, Stratton Hills. There's a lot of access to Fort Carson on the south side of Colorado Springs. So you'll see a lot of stuff there. And then on the other side on the map, where you go over here to Widefield Fountain, you have a lot of military buyers and renters.
Got it, got it, got it. Price-wise, how does this compare to where we are now?
Less.
Less. Okay, and then I imagine, of course, if you go downtown, maybe near the main
Huge.
street, that's expensive.
It's
from
huge.
there. Do they do short-term rentals over there at
Yes.
all? Okay, okay.
Yeah, Colorado Springs proper, when you're within city limits,
Yeah.
your short-term rental legislation is really tough right now. You have
Got
to
it.
own the home,
Okay.
and you can't be within 500 feet as a bird flies from the next Airbnb.
Oh
so it's
my gosh.
1,000
Yeah.
feet.
Wow.
So if you're outside of city limits, you don't have that.
Is this outside of city limits?
No.
This is all within. Okay, so outside would be then more county essentially.
Yeah, and
Gotcha,
even over
okay.
here, you'd have a tough time on an Airbnb.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
not
why you
as
would-
desirable.
Yeah.
It's close enough to the airport, but it's still not going to be a big renter.
Yeah, yeah, that's not a big priority for us right now anyway, mostly because I think Airbnb is going through a little bit of a bubble. Personally, I found. Do you see that out here too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So just so you know, our goal, I'm sure McKay probably gave you a little bit of a heads up. There he is. I lost you for, I don't see that far. Yeah. Our goal is start buying probably second half, maybe Q4 into 2024, and single family, something we can fix up, add value, and
Buy a distressed property, upgrade it, rent it long term,
yeah, bingo. So you got
7
it.
to 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. The goal for us also, you're very good, nailed it. The goal for us is really to really get to know the area so
Yeah.
well, so that when you call or text, and you're like, it's coming up, we can make a decision right away.
Yes.
We don't want to sleep on it, think on it. We want to buy, and we want to actually be able to close deals regularly. So that's
Awesome.
our goal. So okay, so would this be how would you compare this to sort of your typical? This is you said square footage wise.
2,500.
Okay,
This
so a
one
little
has
larger probably than
finished basement.
that's adding the square footage.
That's adding the square footage. Your basement square footage is worth less.
Okay.
Per
okay.
square?
Yeah, yeah. Is it usually completed by the builder, or do they just give you drywall and
It
you finish?
depends.
Okay.
You can. It's usually an option.
Optional,
So
got
you'll see it sometimes, sometimes not. When we're flipping, we run an analysis on whether or not to complete the basement based on ARV and rental.
What else is going on? Are people doing separate rentals at all for those, or
Like separating the basement,
Yeah, like renting to a separate second family, or
Yes.
Okay, common or not really?
not abnormal.
Okay, got it,
Especially
got it.
right now, because rents are very expensive for this town.
Got it. Okay, so
It's skyrocketed.
yeah, so more just one family for the whole property essentially is common.
Unless you can separate the entrance.
Okay, got
You have a
it.
separate entrance, you can separate it and rent it out somewhat like a duplex, but you have to do a 110 volt stove.
Gotcha. Okay, is that because they don't want you to permit?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Got it. So probably not as common then. Okay.
Not as common.
Okay. I get
Not
it.
as known.
You're not as known. yeah. Exactly. 110 stove. Wow.
Edit that out.
Does that? Yeah, does 110 even heat?
Yes, it's just 2 burners instead of 4.
Oh, okay. That
There we go.
I guess that makes sense. Okay, cool, great. So 2002, great. I imagine. Do you ever get? I mean, these are comp shingle out here. These roofs, yeah, they've got comp
Generally,
shingle, and with the weather, I mean, potentially. Sometimes you get some roof leaks or whatever. If we find something moldy,
Hail
I love
damage.
it. I eat it up. Hail damage.
Hail
That's what you get out here.
Every 2 to
Is it
5 years.
Insurance covered?
Yes.
Premium's a little higher then?
Yes.
Yeah. Property taxes out here?
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
Like 1% plus minus? Yeah. Okay.
Give or take which side you're on.
Do you get earthquakes out here or any other?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah,
No earthquakets, no termites.
No termites.
No humidity.
Okay.
Very, very rare on termites. It's only if we import stuff from California.
The Californians bring them over. Okay. Okay, got
Not
it.
like it was in LA, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, this is an interesting fiberglass enclosure. This is, see, it's another designed fiberglass enclosure. That's incredible. Somebody really cares about their shower over here. All right, cool. So basic 2000s here. So you said, oh, hi there. I'm Kevin. Who are you?
This is
John.
John is my right hand. He was my
Pleasure to meet you.
admin in my flipping company.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Nice. Garage up here. I imagine finished garage out here. Okay.
Depends.
Okay, probably age
You have
then.
to check it.
I mean, this is incredible because, I mean, this is really for families. This is so perfect, just the amount of space that you get down here. And so they wouldn't ordinarily finish this, or this tract, yes?
This is normal on a
Okay.
finished basement. You usually have a living space and then 1 to 2 bedrooms and a bath.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, pretty move-in ready over here. So it gives you a good idea.
2002.
Little laundries down here. Okay. Yeah, and then you wouldn't have laundry upstairs again unless
Correct.
you put them in. Yeah, okay. So single family is what we're looking for. What neighborhoods do you all usually see a lot of the flips happening in? Is it in the same kind of square?
You're going to look at, those are usually lower end neighborhoods, Pikes Peak Park,
Okay.
not necessarily rental.
Got it. You wouldn't
locations.
want to go long-term there.
We've flipped a few in this area. They've
It's
been
more far and few between, huh?
usually foreclosures.
Oh, good. You can
So-
get, okay. We would love those.
Foreclosures are awesome.
Anything that y'all don't want and you're looking for an easy buyer on for that can pay a little bit more than the flippers, that's us.
There you go.
So, but yeah, if it's flippable, it's probably something we'd like. Yeah, that's cool. You get playgrounds out here. House over here with playgrounds. Lot of space. See, these are also easy to comp. You know, a lot of people, they'll look at homes like this and they'll say, oh, they're not unique enough. They don't have exactly the charm. That's nonsense. This is the easiest stuff to comp to know if you're getting a good deal or not. When you could easily say, hey, there are 30 of these others that have sold the same floor plan. Makes it so easy to value. Yeah, O2 out here.
Isn't that crazy, O2?
Yeah. It seems much newer than O2. It's for even the weather they get out here. It's well kept. The paint jobs are phenomenal for 20 years old, and I don't even see a bad paint job. I mean, I've been through plenty of 2000 neighborhoods that have nasty paint jobs already.
You're really looking for like the houses that aren't great that have potential to flip.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to find the moldy house on this street because you could buy it blindly, right? So something over here that's a hoarding mess or a disaster, I can buy without even seeing it because once you know the area, it's so easy. And that's how you can really scale, understand exactly where your area is, know how quickly I can rent it out, to whom I'm going to rent it out, what policies to have for property management. It makes it so easy.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then you just repeat. I love any kind of disaster that's covered by insurance. As long as nobody gets hurt, then I get a new product. Question for you, with the properties that y'all flipped out here, what was the condition of those like?
Terrible to. We didn't do anything and resold them.
Good for you. Okay,
So
so
anywhere.
off market. Yeah, anywhere.
Anywhere.
Terrible out here. I mean, what are you generally looking at for terrible?
Flip to the studs, replumb,
Really? Okay,
and
okay.
new electric, everything all the way up the top.
Oh, nice. Okay,
New
so plenty of
windows, new roof,
opportunities for that.
everything. Yeah, there's opportunities all over.
We love construction. So
cool.
good. Great. Awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah. I imagine y'all have good construction connections too. That's all of them. So we don't even need to talk to anyone else. We just yes, I love it. Love it. We'll see you at the next one. Yeah, I mean, it's so important to connect with people, and it's not just one time. We keep coming back. So far, I'm really impressed. I did not know much about Colorado Springs, and I like this so far.
Yeah, it was a crazy day.
We did a lot today. Yeah.
For all of you guys that are watching, he actually has as much energy as you see on camera.
Well, thanks for that. So shout yourself out. What do you do?
Yeah, my name is Jessica Johnson, and I'm the co-founder of smartcoach.com. So we help coaches and course creators scale their company through social media.
Awesome. Wow,
Yeah.
super cool. Thank you so much for coming out. And you get to hold my my dad's new puppy as of in a couple weeks from now. How is it?
So cute. Perfect way to end my day.
Oh, wow, this one, a little larger yard. And they added a shed in the back. What's the age of this one?
This one is
A little newer, 06?
03.
03, okay, only a year. Yeah, okay. And similar HOA, I imagine. The guy's got a semi-truck in his backyard.
This one does not have HOA in this location.
No HOA here. That explains the semi-truck.
Yes.
Okay, so
This one's been updated. It's not original.
and that's okay. I mean, once we know the neighborhoods, it's easy to know, like, okay, this is
Typical.
a fixer version of this is going to be the same layout and everything. What percentage in these neighborhoods would you say are renters compared to homeowners? Like 50-50, 75?
I would say 40% renters.
Okay.
Estimate.
Yeah, so probably about average.
I'd have to
information.
run statistics.
Sure.
here,
Yeah.
but
No, that's okay. Yeah. All right. Interesting. So, okay. So upstairs here, actually, it looks like potentially no bedrooms up here, just sort of garage. Is that pretty typical in Colorado? You get a lot of upstairs. It's sort of some living entry area,
yes,
the beds down.
that's not abnormal.
Okay. And do people expect basements out here? Is that pretty typical?
Generally, there's basements. Not
Okay.
always, but generally.
So this one might have a basement, but might not.
This one has an unfinished basement.
Okay, so that's through one of those doors. And then we have the upstairs. Okay, we'll take a quick peek. Yeah, they put my favorite, that's quite interesting. They put the shag carpet up to the side. I've never seen that before. Generally, you'd have a wood trim molding here.
That's
And-
normal here.
Wait, it's normal to do carpet up the side
Yep.
here? Are you serious? This is a
Yes.
Colorado Springs
a Colorado
discovery.
Springs thing.
How fascinating. I was just thinking if I asked my carpet installers to do that in California, they'd look at me like I was crazy because I've never seen this before. It's actually convenient. Good point. Yeah, that's interesting. Very, very cool. Okay. All right. So 4 bedrooms up here. Pretty typical early 2000s, right? I love this. I want more properties that have like old medicine, but like that feeling to it because it's so cheap. See, that looks bad, but it's $30 to replace and like 10 minutes of labor, little bit of caulking. So you get some of it here, right? You get sort of like the cracking and the caulk. You need a little bit of the mildew in there. And then what you need is the original carpet. If they didn't paint it, they didn't carpet it, could have been wet. Could have been somebody. And they did the boob lights. It's good. All right, good. 6-panel doors, pretty classic early 2000s.
Masters on that side.
Master.
Usually masters are separated.
Yeah, that is nice. You got the brushed nickel hinges over here, master bath over here, walk-in closet, little office nook almost over here for the work from home. Great. Yeah.
This
simple.
is a pretty typical.
This is typical Colorado
pretty
Springs, huh?
typical, yep.
Yeah, I like it.
This is a typical 1990 through 2010 home.
Perfect. Yeah, simple.
Yep.
Yeah, and then fixer versions of this, and then we're buying them.
Fixer
It's
versions are super easy. They're about 20K.
20K to fix up. Yeah.
To get them right back up and running.
And something that looks nasty. What do you think you can usually pick those up for? The nasty ones.
It depends on where I get them from.
Sure, of course.
So usually you can get them, and again, we're getting ready to go into a harder market.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
So more typical. What?
pennies on the dollar. But
Yeah.
I'd say right now you can probably pick them up 330-ish.
330-ish. Yeah, and they're in these mid-4s neighborhoods. Yeah. That's. We'd
they
be
definitely
buying
got-
stuff like that all day long.
They got room.
Yeah, great,
got room.
awesome. Okay, great. We'll go next one. Thank you.
2 things, Kevin.
Yes.
Drain spouts,
Yes.
they're required.
The require. So who enforces
And this
the
is
city?
a VA lender requirement.
Oh yeah.
And everything.
Oh, they're flip up. I've never seen them hinged before. That's cool for the snow.
And if you see the grading from the house,
Yeah.
you have to have a grade away from the house for VA lendability.
Keep that going to get our VA value. I'm actually impressed with how good the exterior of all of the homes look. I would think with the weather that you would have more of an impact on them, but for 20-year-old neighborhoods, they look really good. So that's great. This neighborhood, we were saying as we walked in, no HOA, so you're seeing a little bit more, I think, freedom, including that one semi-truck that we saw in the drive. It's interesting. That you always notice that. You always generally know right away if a neighborhood has an HOA or not. It's like a little property manager for you. Like, I mean, look, I'm all for the motorcycle, but you know, it's kind of doesn't belong there. Hey, it's a showpiece. I also like how much customizability they have in all these. But they didn't get no HOA, so you don't have the pre-approved color schemes. That's why you're getting so much variability. Here, it's actually nice though. People care about their homes here, even without the HOA.
Why don't these homes look weathered? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
A lot of weather.
Yeah. Well, maybe they just have. I don't know. Yeah. You know, I have not figured out that answer. But yeah, more custom kind of landscaping. You're going to get more of that in non-HOAs. Usually you're supposed to go through HOA approvals for exterior modifications, unless you're me and you don't. Hey, you might not know this yet, but I've got some incredible programs on building your wealth linked down below, especially when it comes to real estate investing, 0 to millionaire real estate, how to get started, how to get your first rental property, your first home to live in, how to negotiate that deal, how to work with agents, how to find agents and contractors, CPAs. Do you need an LLC? How should you form an LLC? All of this information and much more, including money saving tricks and strategies for renovating and making sure you're getting wedge deals so you're increasing your net worth as soon as possible, as well as analysis on actual deals that people are doing in our group. Make sure to check out those programs linked down below. You want to generally start with the 0 to millionaire real estate investing course if you're looking to build your wealth in real estate. Most people end up bundling this with the Stocks and Psychology of Money group, really great for starting off building your wealth. And then folks tend to move on to the do-it-yourself property management and rental renovations group, which is also extremely phenomenal for when you're ready to start scaling your rental portfolio. So check that out via the link down below and make sure to take advantage of the flash sale. Well, first of all, remember we're driven by the wedge deal. So wherever the deals are, that's what we want. We package these together. They will sell. Yeah, there's no concern about that. But yeah, I mean, you blend this. So, you know, if this is if you're at 4.5 caps or 4.1 caps, then, you know, you merge that with some 5.5ers. And you just become an expert at the management in each area and you get some kind of blended cash flow, right? And then of course, if you want to expand to the East Coast, you know, certain areas you're going to get more of those 6 and 7%, but then you're sometimes dealing with no appreciation. Here's your trailer, followed by Jeep on the side of the yard, followed by RV, semi-truck, RV, trash cans sitting out. Here you got, that guy's got an ice cream truck he parks in front of his house. This guy's got, I don't even know what that is, that little flat thing RV or whatever. Yeah, whatever. And then and then you got another RV in the back over there.
Look at that blue house.
Yeah, and then you get the crazy colors, pretty typical in a non-HOA. That's very much what you will generally see is in the non-HOA, you start seeing wildness. And that the problem is that gets worse over time. That doesn't get better over time. So when these 20-year-old neighborhoods start turning into 40-year-old neighborhoods, you're just compounding that effect because you got all the RVs sitting around outside. So everybody wants an RV outside and that sort of becomes the standard and it attracts more of that customization of the outside in non-standard ways and potentially lowers rents over time. So if I had to pick between the two neighborhoods, I would almost always pick the HOA neighborhood. Of course, if I get a really good deal in the non-HOA neighborhood, am I going to say no to it? No, but I'm going to keep that in mind for my long-term investing strategy.
When a commercial builder builds an area, can they have the HOA or who determines if it's going to have an HOA or not?
Well, usually commercial buildings have an owner's association. So it's kind of like an HOA, but they just call it an OA. And that's for common area maintenance.
Like commercial, as in like a commercial builder comes in and builds 50 tract homes. Does that builder maintain the right to have an HOA?
Oh, that's a negotiation with the city, what they think the desirability is, what the market is like. So some cities will require Melrose assessments, which almost feel like another HOA assessment. The nice thing about sort of like tax assessments and HOAs for the builder is they can really pawn off responsibility and rules on them. But it has to be a standard in the area, right? Well, a selling feature for a lot of neighborhoods is no HOA because home buyers have this impression that they don't want HOAs. So a lot of builders will actually call it a selling feature not to have an HOA. And then, when they do have an HOA, they usually start the dues out low. But that could be rigged because HOAs are nonprofits and they spend what they need to. So if they run out of money, they just raise the prices. This is what not to do. Overpay for real estate and try to flip it for a profit by collecting the 6% fee. That's how you go bankrupt in a recession. Gotta have insulation if you're gonna buy real estate. Open Door didn't seem to care about that. And now they're this close to bankruptcy. Closed door soon.
That'll be nice because they need to like fix their lockbox information.
Oh yeah. I'm not very optimistic about their whole business model that's right now. So, and it'll also make it easier for other people to buy properties that need work when they're gone because they're overpaying for everything.
Oh, this is cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's good. It's fine. It's true. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. So this is more of your cheapo rental grade. You've got really basic job on sort of the cabinet work. Not a surprise. You can see sort of the unfinished painting. You've got, it looks like almost sort of like a blow and glow. You didn't even do the inside over here. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know that they primed these cabinets. You've got sort of just a single quick little throw up of paint over there. So the cabinets look terrible. Honestly, the cabinets look so bad, they could have potentially even just left them as the original cabinets, and because now you get a buyer, and what you're doing is every buyer opens the cabinets, and you look at this and you go, oh, this is like sticky and gross and grimy, and just sends a signal to a home buyer that whoever was owning the property opened or doesn't really care. So interestingly, something like this, oh my gosh, here they even got rid of the sub over here, the subfloor of the cabinet basically. And you can see what probably happened is the bottom of the cabinet rotted out. You've got a little bit of gunk and nasty coming out over here at some of the drain lines, and you can see some of the bubbling up of sort of the back paneling, which generally you use to cover up the holes during construction. And so that sort of implies you had a little bit of water damage over here. So they just decided to cut out the bottom of the cabinet. In fact, I could see sort of how the water almost flooded down over here. Rather than actually fix it and put in a new floor, which you could do pretty easily over here, it's kind of decided to cut it out, which is quite interesting. You got some new linoleum over here, sort of your classic paint and linoleum and the cheapest carpet possible, and put it back in the market. Not a big fan. Yeah.
This house has been listed for 119 days. Guess how much they dropped the price?
119 days. Well, I mean, hopefully $50K.
$8,000.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, that's dumb. Yeah. Okay. I mean, janky. So this is a wrap. And this is an old Formica top that what they did is to try to class it up. They wrapped it. Oh, there you go. You can see the edge of the wrap right here. So this is just a foil that was thrown over this. Didn't caulk the edge of the sink. So now you get water sitting over here when you're doing dishes. It goes in between the cabinets and mildews again. And it's just this is just an example of generally you don't want to buy when people are doing funky stuff like this because every turn it's just nasty, multiple different grimy kind of colors and stuff. If this had some nice mold in it, it'd be great. That's the last thing you need. So unfinished garage over here. Actually, these look pretty easy to finish out here. You don't know how, I don't know if you could get more rent to finish this, you could probably finish this out for a couple grand, put in a nice fluorescent light, epoxy the floor, and I mean, you could class up this garage pretty quickly. What would you get more rent like finishing out the garage, or maybe not?
Probably not.
No, not out here. Okay, all right, yeah, then it's not worth it. It all comes down to rent. If I can get more money with the rent, we'll do the garage, but otherwise, yeah. All right, we'll take a quick peek upstairs.
Oh, you'll find a Jack and Jill in the master suite.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah. No, little holes in it. You can see the old color over here. I still find it very interesting that this carpet is so normal up here because it makes it very difficult to trim the paint. And so you could see the old paint color, which was this nasty orange, followed by what looked like a yellow, or vice versa. And then when they did this, they clearly had their carpet guy come in before the painter, which seems remarkably dumb, but whatever. I mean, it's so simple. You could take one person in an hour and have them go around with a cloth and clean up this mess, but look, this is grimy, it's nasty. I used to do that in my listings. I'd go around and just take a paper towel, clean off the top, scrub over these, because this is gross. Just, if you take the faceplate off, turn the power off, plenty of times I've taken a wet paper towel and I undo the faceplate and I start rubbing it to clean it, and all of a sudden, oh, getting zapped. But stuff I used to do. Anyway.
What about the ceilings? Is this a concern?
No, it's like a oh, this is more of a concern. So they didn't add, this is an oil-based paint door that originally had an oil-based paint, and the paint is peeling right off. So if you had a dog that scratched, all the paint would just come right off the doors. So they should have used an oil-based primer, which they didn't. But yeah, no, I mean, something like this, they should have cleaned it up, right? This is where the sheet of drywall kind of ends here and here. This is just normal sort of maintenance of a house over the 20-something years it's been here. Which you could tell they don't really care about. I mean, even the paint drips that you have over here, I mean, it's low effort, low quality work. But yeah, I mean, this is something that's your seam at the end of your drywall. Yeah, your bullnose. Well, bullnose is generally what we call this right here, but you have the edge trims, and you just sort of peel back the drywall that's there, mud it again, and maybe add some flexible silicone caulk so that way when that joint flexes again, it doesn't re-crack the drywall. But not concerning enough for this age to worry about. Just normal settling is the way I would look at it. Yeah, it's a good question.
What is the average house price in the market?
It's I don't even know what this thing is listed for, but it seems like it's somewhere mid-4s. But we'll ask when we're downstairs. So they added some new baseboard here. I like the larger baseboard. They left the old paint right here. Really shows, again, not paying attention on the work that was done. See, this is why I love open door listings. There's so much to talk about. They painted around the smoke detector instead of taking it off to actually, give you a nice finish. Goodness gracious. Faceplates missing over here for the switches. I mean, this just looks nasty. This is supposed to be your bathroom. They didn't even do the caulking around the tub, so you kind of get a little bit of that crustiness, the mold over there, mildew in the corners. I mean, really what they tried to do is paint, carpet, Formica the countertops, didn't even bother making the cabinets nice, and they called it a day. Look at it, rust. I mean, this is a $25 light fixture, completely rusted over here. It's just nasty. Sending such a nasty signal to home buyers. I pity the person who ends up buying this property because they're gonna be so disappointed unless they notice all this stuff. But it's just gross. That's the way to describe this one. Gross.
Would you knock this down?
No, I wouldn't touch it. Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll check it out. How much was this one, Lisa?
This one is a 1,640 square foot for $417, but it's been on market for 119 days. They've only dropped it 8.
What's this neighborhood usually worth? It's probably 380, 375.
No, that's the right price-ish for a bigger house with a basement.
Got it. And so this square footage, you think maybe 399 then?
390.
390. Okay, and then this before they fixed it up as if this was a fixer,
So
what
now-
low threes? Yeah, basically. Yeah. Before they pretended to fix it up, right?
For the slabs of paper.
Yeah. This is pretty bad. But again,
I would still say this house right now, if they want to sell it, they need to drop it to 365.
yeah, with the condition that it's in, the quality it's in, and if it were more of a fixer-upper, where you walk in and you're looking at a cash buyer, 320, low 3. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's just what you get with the basements. I think really basements, you turn them into playrooms almost. You got linoleum down here. I mean, I know it's funky, but it's kind of normal in your basements to have funky utilities that you end up seeing around. So not too terribly abnormal to see that. And then your laundry's down here. And just like basic things. I mean, the valance is missing, right? I mean, that's easy, right? These are simple things that they could have done. But then again, I don't think the listing agents were really putting in too much effort on this one. Here, PEX Plumbing for the build. I mean, it's all relatively newer construction, so it's really hard to mess this kind of stuff up. Although it appears they kind of still may have been able to mess this. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, just even the way this is fitted, it's almost like you're blowing your dryer vent right into your home right here. I mean, this is ridiculous. It should be the other way around. It should be screwed down and in place. I mean, it's just sort of the janky work that has been done over here. So everything they've touched.
Bro, I'm sorry, don't look at it. Don't even look
Bro,
at it.
what is that?
It used to be.
Oh, it's a mouse.
It used to be.
Oh, Oh, what is the black thing coming out of it?
We don't want to know.
Yeah.
What? Stop asking questions. Just walk away.
Just stop looking. Gross.
For the vlog! I really wanted to do that.
McKay, how many days have you worked here counting today as your last? What would you call this part of Colorado Springs?
Stetson Hills.
Stetson Hills. Okay, awesome. You clearly know what you're doing. Thank you so much. Please let the world know how to get in touch with you.
Hi, I'm Amy Jones. You can reach out to me. Go to realestatebusinessadvisor.com.
And phone number in case you want people to call
No,
text you?
sir. There's a contact button at that website, realestatebusinessadvisor.com.
Okay, we'll put that up on screen. realestatebusinessadvisor.com. That's the easiest way to get in touch
That's
with you.
the easiest way to catch me.
Perfect. We will always get in touch with your agents the way they want to, because remember, you want to make sure that you build relationships so that way when there are good deals, they know you close your deals and you all can work together for the long term. That's
Absolutely.
always the goal. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely, Kevin.
Thanks. Wire, that is awesome. What, electrical? What does he do? Plumbing?
Next time, make sure you can't stay so long.
No, you don't like him?
No, do not.
See, that's what you gotta know. I got clickbaited. Now, one of the things you notice in this neighborhood is you do have townhomes over here. Sometimes that can give you a little bit more rental competition when you're that close. You have a little bit of a less homogeneous neighborhood. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something to observe. You got a little bit more competition. That tends to be a little lower price, so they're going to be comparing those to you often. Maybe those don't have the yard, so maybe it is a different family, but it's just something to consider. Another thing is, you may have noticed, as soon as they said, oh, who's that vendor over there? They're like, don't hire that person. Now, that's oftentimes because real estate agents have a lot of experience working with vendors. They know who to call, whom not to call. And sometimes knowing whom not to call is even more valuable.
My name is Cameron James. You can find me on YouTube, Cameron James, Amazon FBA, or CameronJames.com. It was awesome, man. It's a heck of an experience. I learned a ton.
So you Amazon FBA, so if people want to learn from you, they can do that.
Correct, yep. So building your own branded products, getting them on Amazon FBA, doing this all from your laptop. You can just scale it, travel around the world, and it's all.
What does it take for someone to get started?
About 5,000 to 10,000 just to get started. You can start with lower amounts, but it just takes
Easier
more
than-
time.
Okay.
5,000 to 10,000, make your own branded products, and eventually create a whole brand line, get it off Amazon FBA as well, to eventually sell that business too.
Your channel, one more time.
Cameron James, Amazon FBA, or at Cameron James at YouTube.
C or K?
C and no E in Cameron. So CAMRON James, YouTube.
A little higher level of a question, but I feel like a lot of investors will also have this question. We obviously see that open door listing has been severely neglected to the point where it's like $80,000 over asking price and it was very poorly remodeled. I feel like it was just lost on a spreadsheet somehow and just not taken care of. How is HouseHack going to make sure that properties don't fall off spreadsheets like that or just become like a single little line item?
What I believe Open Door's problem is you have too much layering of management. So I would guess you have executives who almost never visit these markets. You need the boss to be in the markets that you're working in all the time. There's a reason Walmart flies their VPs of the entire company around private on their own Walmart private jets as much as possible. The executives have to be there seeing what's going on. You got to cut out middle management. You just saw 20% of Facebook staff get laid off because they're tired of the middle management getting in the way, because now everybody's pointing the finger at everyone. So how do you avoid that from happening? You avoid that from happening by making sure that you have top level in the markets, and being aware of your inventory, right? And actually visiting your inventory, seeing what's going on. If something's not moving for sale within a week, we already know there's a problem. It's either the price or it's the property. So something's either wrong with the property, like maybe there's a dead mouse in the vent register, or something stinks. I don't know. Something's wrong with it, or it's the price. So every 7 days, there should be an audit. Why is this property not selling? Now, we're not flipping homes. So the question for us would be, how do we prevent properties from sitting on the market as rentals? Well, it's the same thing. It's price or condition. Why is something not moving? Price or condition? In this Open Door example, it's both. Now they can fix the problems or they can cut the price to compensate. They should probably do a combination of both. But what you probably have is this tiered management structure where, again, the corporate executives are dancing around on their IPO and their billions of dollars, and they don't care about the individual homes anymore. That's evidenced by the end product of almost every single Open Door listing we go into. That's been my experience. I would go as far as saying 100% of the Open Door listed homes I've been into have been crap. And so I think there's a massive disconnect between the upper brass and then the bottom, the actual properties. But then you probably have my guess is they probably have a manager at the state level, a manager at the county level, a manager at the city level, and you've got these 4 or 5 different managers, and nobody's actually taking overall responsibility. I think you got to cut out levels, and either people actually handle their work or they get fired. And that's clearly what's not happening here. There's some form of complacency or they're not training properly. It is also entirely possible that the executives at Open Door don't actually know what they're doing in real estate, and that they lucked into an appreciating market, created a company at the bottom of the last cycle, or clueless about how to manage real estate. And so now you're in a position where the market's falling and they don't know how to deal with hard times, and they don't actually know how to sell real estate. So now they're burning billions of dollars of market cap and investor capital because they're incompetent in real estate. That's unfortunate, but that's also the capitalistic way of weeding out bad businesses and people who don't know what they're doing. How's that for an answer?
I think that's brilliant. I think the biggest thing I took away from it was the 7-day audit. 7 days, every 7 days you look at the properties, be like, why isn't this rented? And you know the area, you probably know the actual house that you bought, or you've been to it, and you can point out, or you get a matter report of the current condition. I think a 7-day audit would be really key.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really, ultimately it's simple. I mean, if you do a Matterport 3D scan when you go to rent it out, you don't even need to do a re-Matterport after 7 days, because see, the beautiful thing is if you have that 7-day mindset, stuff doesn't break after 7 days. The smoke detector batteries start good nasty after 3 months or 6 months, right? Then you start getting the grime and people's footprints and people leaving trash and not dealing with the toilet, right? If you move quickly, and you don't let properties stagnate, they usually don't decay that fast anyway. You know, you get all the spider webs and the dead animals or insects when properties sit. So you can avoid a lot of the condition problem if you actually renovate it properly and then move quickly. In this case, they're actually failing on both ends. They're failing on having the proper condition, which a lot of the things I pointed out in that house, you might actually not even notice in a Matterport, but you can notice instantly in person because you're getting that, the real life HD look and up close vision on it. But yeah, by far, I think you hit the head on the nail on the head. 7 days, if it ain't moving, there's a problem. Price or condition. If we follow a formula, we don't even have to think about the condition. We know if the property was renovated to our condition, it's price. Colorado Springs was awesome, very impressive. You have a tiny little bit on the lower side of potentially cash flow relative to some of the areas, and I think that's because the desirability seems to be so high. I believe you're probably trading into more appreciation. You've got a lot of development still going on, but the growth seems to be there to support that, where the rental demand is relatively high. Obviously, as with every market we go to, much more research to be done. This is just initial recon, but I have to say, very impressive with what I'm seeing here. This is clearly a growth style city rather than a survive style city or a decay style city. Now, that's not to be insulting to any other cities, but remember, when you have cash flows that are, say, 10 caps, you're often in decay cities. 7 caps to 6 caps, you're often in stagnant cities. 4, 5 caps, that's where your growth is. And less risk in a growth city, because not only do you have that further upside of appreciation, but you don't face as much risk of potential depreciation. And I'm not talking about the tax benefit. I'm literally talking about increased illiquidity, which means it's harder to sell or rent out your property, which is bad because you want liquidity. You want things that flow, rent quickly, lower vacancies, sell fast. That's what you want. But you also, ideally, want the value of your properties to go up, not down. That's the point of real estate, after all.
Okay, what is happening? There was an hour and a half of air traffic to get into Colorado, so why do you own a private jet? It's a change on a dime. We're going to Arizona, baby. 2 homes in Gilbert, 2 homes in Mesa, and guess what? Because we developed those relationships, we have an agent that's ready to work with us. Already got 4 listings, and we're gonna go see them. That was about a half an hour worth of work, and we're ready to go to a new city. Easy, simple.
So you're saying we were 20 minutes away from where we were going to go, but they've got potentially 2 hours of traffic, of air traffic to get in. Hour and a half, I think, is the current quote. So instead, we're going to start trekking towards home, but we'll stop in another market we really like and explore some real estate there.
And we have an agent that knows us. We don't even have to explain the criteria again. He knows us.
So he's already setting it up.
He moved appointments for us because he knows we're so serious.
Hell yeah. See, that is a good agent. Thanks, McKay.
Hey, anytime. Let's do it.
All right, you were the first person to shadow me coming with a World of Warcraft hoodie. I love it. I grew up playing WoW. This is amazing. It's not even printed. I mean, it's like something a druid would wear, and that's what I was, a Tauren druid. So, who are you? What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm a night elf druid.
Oh, he's Alliance.
Yep, that's right. And I also am a creator of Viewert.com.
Your creator?
Viewert.
Viewert.
That's the application.
Viewer. What does that do?
It's an experience cloud, which is pretty much an experience note taker for your product experiences or company experiences.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so you go to view, like you're looking at a view, and then ERT.com.
Correct.
And so what can you do with that?
And so it's a free note taker app. Try it out and see. And also subscribe to my Sunrostern YouTube channel where we cover gaming and technology.
Nice.
And Kevin is awesome.
Ah, thanks. So you game on your channel too?
Correct.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, thank you so much for being out here. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks. We made it to Arizona. This is our second time in Arizona. That's a good sign for Arizona. We're at the Mesa Gateway Airport, and now we're going to Mesa and Gilbert. Let's check out some homes. Good to see you again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
This is exciting.
Yeah, it's my best friend.
Hi there. Hey, pleasure to meet you. Absolutely.
This is the crew today.
All right.
Let's go with some real estate.
Let's knock it out. Let's do it.
We're parked right next
This is
to
about as cold as it gets here. So
Perfect. Good to see you again,
You're
man.
back again.
So excited to be back. Yeah, thank you for that. A little later in the day, but hey, you know what? This is cool. Literally, it's cool.
How long did you stay late last time?
No, we were out by something by 4 or 5. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's up? I was just looking at the rental market. Oh, could we throw you a mic? Oh, you already got. Geez, you're so on it. Thank you. What's up with the? I was just kind of scrolling on like rentals. It seems like there are quite a few rentals available right now. Is that because people just who are trying to sell are like, I'm just going to rent, or what's going on?
Bingo.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
because a lot of the flippers, especially like the newer ones that got caught with them.
Yeah.
Now they have hard money loans that are due, and so now they have to turn them into rentals.
And refinance them long.
Yep, you have to refinance. And then some of the hard money people too.
Yeah.
They're telling them, they're like giving them like 30 to 60 days to do so before they take the loan back.
Yeah, right.
So they have to show like it's either being rented or.
Right, we got some cash flow here, some stability or whatever. Got it. Okay, so there probably will be a little bit of a temporary decline in rents, probably along with prices, I would guess. Okay. Well, that's fine. We got time. We have patience. So it's just interesting. So I want to keep an eye on that inventory number, and I imagine probably towards the end of the year it'll start dropping again a little bit. But what do you think?
I do, and like when you guys were driving here from the airport, you saw all the big warehouses that are being built.
Oh my gosh, so much being built. Even when we flew in, I'm like, new build. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of new jobs.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like this East Mesa area is like a hot topic because it connects to Queen Creek, the northern part of it. And so like there's a ton of apartments getting built up out in the Queen Creek area. So I think like after you get through the flood of flips,
current rental inventory and the open doors and all that.
Exactly,
okay, got it. And somebody moving out here, why would they choose here over Gilbert, let's say?
Just because it's closer to their work, just because of all the jobs that are coming into this particular area.
Like all the commercial buildings that are being built. Got it. Got less commute. Because here to Gilbert, 25 minutes?
Actually, if you take the new highway, you can get there in like 10 to 15.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. In fact, actually, you can probably get there in 10. So this new highway is only a few years old. So before you had to take the service streets from Gilbert all the way to here, and that would take 20, 25 minutes.
I see.
Now with the new 202, that loops and connects right into Gilbert, you can get in there in 10.
Nice. Yeah, so it is an interesting amount of, a lot of new rentals coming.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of have to watch. I think that's probably going to mean prices also for not only rents, but also sales prices are going to trend down, at least for another 6 months.
No, I think that this area has a little bit longer to go.
Yeah.
And then, but that is a good point with all the new commercial construction being built. Like
Let
that's
that
a lot
get
of
built.
jobs.
Yeah.
Like jobs are going to come too.
Right.
So the demand for this housing eventually will catch up when the jobs are here, but that could be 12, 18 months down the road.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, the nice thing is we have time. We could start buying somewhere else and eventually buy here once. I like it. Once I find stability, then's the time. Yeah, I get nervous about speculating on further out.
Yeah, further.
Yeah. Do you know what jobs are going in? I mean, I know the facilities are being built. Or is it not yet determined who they're going to lease them to?
No, they already have like, so Footprint is the the people that actually have they're the name of the Phoenix Suns on their arena in downtown Phoenix.
Okay.
They're out here.
I see.
And then you also have the Tech.
Yes.
And then you also have like the weed dispensaries as well. that are coming
Okay.
out here.
They're coming out here. Okay, good to know. All right. Yeah, you definitely get the square footage out here. Oh, I'm messing it up. Nope, a lot of three-way switches today. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is incredible. So you get 1,850 square feet, 2012 built. I mean, there's really nothing ever that would be structurally wrong with these things. You go out back. This is roughly what I remember in Gilbert too. I think your parents had slightly a bit of a larger backyard, but they were also on the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, they're an anomaly.
Yeah, and then here are those screens again that we remember with the heat, the sun reflectors. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they threw the turf back in here. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to worry about on properties like this. You know, it's just, can you find one
Just
that's
the area.
fixable?
Getting on East Mesa, you are speculating on the growth of East Mesa a little bit.
Yeah.
The one for the Gilbert area is a little bit more stable.
Okay. All right. Okay. That sounds good. Huh. Fancy. Oh, and you got a little loft over here.
It's kind of a funny, is that like a loft?
Yeah, it probably was like an optional fourth or something. It's like, yeah. Okay.
That's where I'd look at for the singles and be like, hey, look, I can wall that and make it a
Oh, easy. Yeah, exactly. Another $700 a month, you know? Yeah, exactly. The traditional house hacking.
HouseHack night mode activated.
After dark, yeah. So this is an earlier build?
Yeah, this one's
early
2000. Yep. And then it's backs up to the golf course too.
It had that beautiful view.
Yeah.
It had the sunset shots. So out here, it seems like there are a lot less rentals available.
Yeah, because here's the thing about Gilbert.
Yeah.
Is not. Did you go to downtown Gilbert last time you were here?
Did we go to downtown Gilbert? I don't think we went to. No, we drove through Chandler. We didn't go through downtown.
So like this would be a good night to go down there because you're not too far away from it. But the benefit of downtown Gilbert is because they redid it. You'll see all the families there eating and stuff. But the one thing about Gilbert, a little bit different from East Mesa.
Yeah.
I can go work in Phoenix and I'm willing to travel back here.
I see.
Because everything's here, really good schools. A
little more central.
Exactly, a little bit more central. And people are like more passionate about Gilbert and there's not as much area to build as well.
Got it. So you're a little bit more limited, yet you have maybe the higher school ratings then?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So are you renting and selling faster here and maybe sitting a little bit on the market longer towards the east, or what would you say about that?
Yes, you're going to have more supply out there just because of the drive. And plus, you can kind of tell even when you're driving through it, there's still stuff being built, and there's still a lot more land.
Gotcha.
Like here in Gilbert, like it's almost becoming landlocked, especially like in the central part. Like the closer you are to downtown Gilbert, the more.
And how close are we to downtown right now?
You're 2 miles, 3 miles, if that.
Oh, wow.
You're not too far away.
Okay. And is it generally, I mean, could you generalize and say the closer to downtown the better, or is it closer to Sandton better?
Like this is probably like a good, like a little bit, this is probably the furthest you want to go east-wise. Because if you start getting into Wrecker and like closer to East Mesa, the less.
This side of the airport.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
And a little bit closer to the highways too.
Got it.
Because you guys took the 202 to get here?
No, we took. You took the 02 too.
Oh, you went service streets. Okay. I was gonna say the 202. No, it's.
He was on the 202 last time.
Oh, was he? Okay, got it. Okay,
got it.
There you go.
And then, what are you guys seeing in how has it transitioned in the last few weeks?
Like as far as like.
I guess since we last saw you in January.
You know the weird part about it is the supply's actually gone down.
Yeah, it's weird. I have noticed that in terms of for sales.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like a really weird market. I can't really get a pulse on it.
Same. It's like starts and stops, right? Yeah.
It does that, but then it's like people aren't like still not like jumping on stuff.
Yeah.
But yet the supply is still really low.
Yeah.
And because like a few months before we were at like 20 to 21,000, and in my mind I was like, oh, we're probably going to hedge up to 25,000.
Yeah.
Now we're down to 15,000 again.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Interesting market.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you are seeing more people cancel their sales and try to go for rents, huh?
They're doing that.
Yeah.
Some people are just frustrated that it's been on the market for too long.
Yeah.
I think a lot of iBuyers too are struggling.
Oh, for sure.
They're their days on the market are 100, 200 days.
Yeah, that's
and
insane.
it's getting insane right now.
Okay.
Their stuff.
Okay. Well, I mean, for us, that goes in the right direction. So it worked out. All right, we'll take a quick look at this and then we'll get out of your hair. All right, so some crazy high ceilings you got over here. Yeah, I mean, so far, this, I think it's definitely too soon to consider the Arizona market, but that's okay because we're really not planning on buying anywhere until Q3 at the earliest of 2023. But it's possible that the Arizona market might be closer to a delayed bottom. Like for example, if you have a rebound in Florida that happens in Q1, Q2, 23, you might not actually see the rebound happen in Arizona until Q1, Q2, 2024. So it depends, but that's what we want to keep an eye on because we want to come and be like, oh my gosh, what happened to all the rentals? What happened to all the for sales? And so once we start seeing that transition, not only in the data, but in the sentiment, both of those measures being very important, mortgage rates, local data, sentiment of realtors, and of course sentiment from buyers and property managers, all of that together, that's when it's buy time. These are all pretty basic over here. What do we got? Nope, no lights. 3-car garage, okay. Let's see what we got out here. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is nice. Yeah, golf course here. Yeah, I mean, this is nice. They've made this really nice. It's definitely, it's more of a developed neighborhood already. You've got the golf course limiting some of your builds. You've got people in the neighborhood are spending a little bit more already kind of developing and adding things, you know, get even just little things like this, you know, people putting their lights up. People have been here for longer. It's a 15-year newer neighborhood, maybe 10-year newer neighborhood. For me, I mean, what it looks like right now, just kind of what I'm seeing, and sort of that, we're looking to start buying kind of Q3, Q4. I want to see how our data evolves, so we definitely want to stay in touch with you because I'm wondering if y'all might be a little bit later on hitting a bottom, like Q1, maybe if 24. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you're right because I think one of the big things that we're noticing now is I think because the iBuyers infiltrated so much of the market. So
heavily, yeah.
They're not like giving them away for like 5 or 10,000. You're like in the hundreds of thousands. So like they bought it for 6. They're like, here, take it for 450.
Yeah.
And that's having a huge impact on us because it affects everyone else's comps. Because a lot of the stuff that they were buying were homes like this that were very livable.
Oh, so you are seeing them start cutting heavily.
Absolutely,
huh?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's not small either. It's like big chunks. And then you have, it's funny because
it's going to kill the comps.
Well, it goes both ways because I think what happened was like with a lot of the homeowners when the iBuyers were overpaying, they're like, yes, we love iBuyers. And now it's the reverse. And it's like,
well, you guys suck. Yes,
my comps are lower now.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Like if you have lower comps, like if I was on the edge of selling my house, it's like why sell my house when I just got 60K I cut under.
Yeah.
Frustrating
as a seller. Sure.
Are you lower rates?
Yeah, exactly. Are you seeing the people who are selling right now, the homeowners who are selling, are they moving and buying another, or are they renting, or what are they doing?
So if they're not moving out of state, they're buying again. But one of the things that like we're telling them is obviously you're going to give up this low interest rate. But on the flip side, the sellers are going to contribute towards your buy down on the next house.
Sure.
You're not going to get the 2.5%, but you'll get, let's see if we can get you into 5.
Yeah.
Which again, that's a normal rate.
Buy down. Okay. So what about? So you're getting that? Where? Okay, out of state. Where are they going?
So like a lot of them, if they're retiring, they're either moving closer to kids, which actually is like colder weather. Which again,
Up
you'll
north
have those.
So like Idaho, maybe.
Idaho, Minnesota. It's funny because those types of sellers, they don't want to, but they know that they're getting older. And one of the things that I'm noticing too is because of the pandemic, they've taken life a little bit differently, thinking like, hey, you know what? I don't know exactly how much longer I have. I want to be closer to the grandkids. It's more important to me versus like 2 or 3 years ago before the pandemic that really kind of took stuff for granted a little bit.
Interesting.
And so now they're a little bit more motivated to get it sold, even though they have to go live in the cold weather.
Got it.
A little closer to the...
Well, that's good. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep checking in with you. Thank you so
sure.
much.
No worries.
This is great. Can you shout yourself out again?
Yeah, for sure.
By the way, you're the first one that we've met twice. So we're excited about the market here, and you're awesome. So thank you.
No worries. So I'm Phil with Go Sold Group here in the Gilbert Chandler area. This is your second time back. I just got a quick question.
Yeah.
Your second time back, it's a little bit later in the day. What's your second impression now that you've been back twice?
Yeah, I mean, I love Gilbert. Gilbert's great. That's how I felt the first time. We did Chandler, Gilbert last time. Now we did East Mesa here. Just from what I'm surveying with the limited time that I was here today, it just continues to reiterate Gilbert.
Okay.
I do think it'll be a little bit longer before this market hits where we're buy ready.
Yep.
But that's okay. We're definitely still interested to come back. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're right. It'll be interesting the next few months.
That's awesome. I'm super excited. So phone number?
480-305-6688, or you can follow me at Phil Shaver AZ.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Absolutely, brother.
Appreciate it. Yep. We'll see you. Okay, look at this. Holy smokes. How old?
So he's 7 weeks tomorrow.
Oh my God. What's that?
I'll bring him home next weekend.
I'm kind of scared. I don't want to drop it. It's like when somebody has a brand new baby. All right. Oh my Lord. Oh. This is my dad's soon-to-be new puppy. Yes, Zeus, which means cute in German. Oh, this is adorable. My gosh, beautiful. Thank you. This is so exciting. Oh, yeah. This is really cool. Oh, super cool. Wow. Next time we've decided we are heading to Scottsdale when we're back in Arizona. We've got some older 1950s properties over there, so we've really got an idea of how much new construction there is. Gilbert, East Mesa, probably going to stick a little bit closer to the inland side, so closer to Gilbert, so that way we're bounded by less new construction, and so we're not sort of on the outskirts where we might have less liquidity. Scottsdale is going to be interesting as well. Closer to the airport there, it seems like you don't have a lot of new construction around there as well. So if you get closer to downtown Scottsdale, you're looking at that classic 1950s property that somebody may have been living in for a few generations. Could be a good opportunity for HouseHack as well. So we'll keep exploring, keep building relationships. That's the most important part of the first half of this year, is it's all about relationships. So it doesn't matter to us whether we're flying around and buying, not buying. That's not the point right now. The structure is very clear. Meet people, build relationships. So that's HouseHack, whatever day of HouseHack we're on now, and hope you enjoyed.